Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this.
It was once just an idea until breaking ground in November of 2016, and now here it is in all its glory. Spectacular SoFi Stadium here in metropolitan Los Angeles. Today, we start the new season with an AFC West Division battle right out of the gate between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Here's the former Florida Gator, Eddie Pinheiro, to get us started. And we are underway in Southern California. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. McDonald sets to throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
Down carry by Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
At the Raiders' 31-yard line.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1. A lot more to go. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. The first time you throw the football winds up being picked, but fortunately for them, it does not lead to points.
So that tells you about team football, doesn't it? Everybody gets together. What's that term they use? Complementary football? Okay, he threw the pick. The defense got together and said, hey, let's shut them down. Let's not turn it into points. They did exactly that. Now he gets a fresh start, a clean slate.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. McDonald. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Play action. It's McDonald. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jacobs. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to 48. Throwing is McDonald. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
On fourth down, McDonald throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He finds his target, Allen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Aaron Jones, 26 yards. And the Chargers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Raiders.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Charger drive about to get going. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 31.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Out of the shotgun is Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Hey, 2nd and 8. 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 2nd and 8
Justin Herbert looking to pass. And this one is incomplete.
Well, that's one way you take away a first down as a defender. Make sure you have a little bit of physical play when the ball gets to the receiver. Find a way to jostle it free. They caught him off guard, force the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. DK Metcalf. 34 yards. And the Chargers have moved out in front. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Here's McDonald to throw. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's McDonald off of the play fake. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Chargers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Charger drive about to get going. The long drive last time out for this offense, Charles, if you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The offense on third down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11, being chased out left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. A run with Jacobs there on first down, but he'll manage only a yard or two at best. 2nd down coming up. They go play action with McDonald. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander on your 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32.
A 5-yard pickup. It's now 4th down.
On 4th down, McDonald. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time they were stopped on 4th down. Had a drive stalled out. We'll see how they respond this go-around.
I'm eager to see what their mindset is. Because moving the ball, feeling good, and then that abrupt stop on 4th down. Do they go back to the bench and go, oh, boy, they've got something for us? Or do they go to the bench and say, we blew it ourselves. Let's get back out there and move the ball again.
And is it different when you get stopped on 4th versus punt? Is that more motivation for the defense, a little more confidence?
I think as a defense, you're so excited with a 4th down stop. Making them punt, that's your goal anyway. But a 4th down stop, that's almost a sign of disrespect that they went for it in the first place. And when you get that, you feel great about yourselves.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down. Back to throw. McDonald. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Counter play with Jacobs. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Right where this second down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, LA! One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First down, Las Vegas.
Off-play action. McDonald. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, it's McDonald. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
From down near his goal line here, Herbert. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. He's got room past the 30. 36 yards on the play. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert. Catch is made by Metcalf. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now this offense in mid-season form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Herbert. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards, the final tally.
Chargers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Herbert operating from the red zone. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen from 17 yards out. And the Chargers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half.
Bringers second. Eddie Piñeiro set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
offense set to get this drive started. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but he did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Off the play fake. McDonald. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Charger drive about to get going. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first two quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. They'll find Everett there, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And he returns this to the 22.
Isaiah Rodgers on the return. The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 122 yards rushing for him now here in week one. A very solid start to this new campaign. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
He's got him in, complete. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown.
And this is obviously quite a performance, and most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Second down, Jacobs once more. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 17 yards.
Here's Jacobs on first and 10. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
From the gun on third down, McDonald. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Calvin Austin. A gain of 3 on the play. And the Raider first down.
Out of the gun, McDonald. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. On second down, Jacobs. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On third and 2, McDonald. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. On fourth down, McDonald. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. That goes for a gain of 31. So that changes things a bit. Here's a first and 10 all the way down at the 35. An inside give to Jones. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. The slot man in motion right. And here's Jones again on second down. Room here to run. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Aaron Jones with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Chargers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And this is going to be a Raiders first down as good running gets them to about the 44. Once again, it's Jacobs. And down to the 41. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. First down line at the 34 here on third down. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 165 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's got room. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Aaron Jones, 57 yards. And the Chargers add 6 more to their point total. And they're on cruise control right now here in the fourth. Pinheiro's extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. McDonald sets to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Well, CD, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into Week 2. This has been an impressive Week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how to...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one here, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Throwing after the interception. McDonald. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. 30. 10. 5. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he is not going to make it to the end zone. And that's pretty reflective of their game as a whole, as they'll remain down by a bundle. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pull it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. McDonald. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
But Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Here's J.K. Scott now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here we go on 4th. Herbert going deep here for Allen. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Throwing is McDonald. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. There he goes left side. 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And the Chargers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. This is not just the opener of the regular season, but this was a division game here in Week 1, and to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out tech.